Hey guys, we're gonna talk about these patch notes here one last time, because what they indicate to change here is very promising, but the delivery is more than pathetic, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about right now. You can see here that point number 1. Let's read it one more time together, talk about it a little bit, and then see what they actually delivered up upon these promises here. Look, certain season content feels too weak or lacks versatility. Okay, this patch will include buffs to underperforming season items and cards. That's the key note to take away here, along with improvements to encourage more diverse deck building options. Alright, keep this in mind. Focus here really is, emphasis is on, this patch will include buffs to underperforming season items and cards. Now let's look what these buffs to underperforming items and cards actually are, and if these improvements encourage more diverse deck building options. Okay, let's check it out together. And here we are. So first of all, this is the equipment here. You can see equipment adjustments. We have 5 items that are being changed. So of course, you can already tell, not enough, right? Let's check it out one by one though. Here, item number 1 is the nerf hacking module. Let's read it together and pay attention. Let that sink in. Before, when an ally uses a forbidden card, plus 20% damage amount, plus 20% shield gain for 1 turn. This can trigger 2 times per turn. And now after. When an ally uses a forbidden card, plus 20% damage amount, plus 20% shield gain, it can trigger 2 times per battle. It is now no longer for 1 turn, and it cannot trigger 2 times per turn anymore either, but it can trigger 2 times per the entire battle. That is the change. That is first of all to an item that we will never use, right? Because we have to play a forbidden card to even activate the effect of this item, which we will never do, almost never, because the forbidden cards are trash, they are too weak, no one plays them. There are very few examples like this aggressive mutant and stuff. There's one more item that gives you a shield and stuff. Other than those 2 cards, no one plays these forbidden cards because they are trash. And to do such a pathetic change here to such an already useless item that no one uses, like, no one will use this item anyway, like, it is so absolutely nonsensical and pathetic here. This is not even a buff. Or like, if we are being real, this is not even a buff. And even if you would call this a buff, you would still never even think about using this item. So what's the point of this complete bluff here? Then the second item, that is actually a little bit of a better change, because the incomplete carapace here, before, at the end of the turn, if you have 5 or more cards in hand, you gain a 140% fixed shield. Okay. Then after, you do not need 5 or more cards in your hand, but 3 or more cards. See, this is already it is a buff, of course, because it makes this item more playable. That's a buff. But it is not truly a buff, because the amount of shield that you gain is not increased. If the number here would be increased, that would be an actual buff, because you gain more shield than before. This changing the activation of this item from 5 to 3 cards in hand or more is more a quality of life change than an actual buff. The buff is here again pretty pathetic. It's more a quality of life change. Okay, but this is one of the better changes, adjustments, whatever you want to call them, that they made here. Then we can move on to number 3, unconfirmed recovery ampule. Before, when an ally uses a forbidden card, you will recover 3% of max health. 3% of max health is a way too low number. We talked about the disaster that are forbidden cards in the first example. So already, like, what are they gonna do? And now after, you gain an 80% fixed shield on top of the 3. So basically, when you use a forbidden card, then you gain 80% fixed shields. Again, you won't even use a forbidden card in over 90% of your turns anyways. Let's move on to number 4, the dopamine injector. When drawn with an ability, 20% more damage for 1 turn, 2 times per turn. After, when drawn with an ability, you increase the damage. See, it is the same fucking dog shit nonsense. No one cares about this, right? It's like, be honest to yourself. Would you can you even tell here what the change is? Like, you have to read this very, very careful to even find out. To be honest, I don't even really quite get it, if I'm being completely honest with you. You see how pathetic that is? It cannot be called a buff by any stretch of the imagination. But again, if you go back, what did they promise, right? Let's go back and read what they said, what they promised here one more time. And hear this one more time. What they say here, what they promise here is, this patch will include buffs to underperforming items and cards. No, there is no buff to any item here that would turn it from underperforming to actually viable. Not the case at all. It's all pathetic, nonsensical garbage that they changed. They did not deliver on this point whatsoever. Along with improvements to encourage more diverse. No, where, like, what is the change here that would encourage you for more diverse deck building options? Are you fucking kidding me, man? But anyways, let's go and take a look at the cards as well. This one, we can go over it really, really quick. For 3 cards, guys, they added lead to 3 cards. That's all I'm gonna say about it, and we're gonna move on. Okay, then point number 2. Let's speed it up a little bit, right? It's, yeah, the first point was that was the most important point. So then point number 2, reduced epiphany acquisition due to the introduction of the dimensional tunnel. Yes, we now get more epiphanies outside of the tunnel, which is very, very good. The dimensional tunnel is still pretty much the same, and there you acquire epiphanies as well as other things. So yes, we get more epiphany upgrades outside of the tunnel, which sounds very, very good. It is completely 100% irrelevant though, and more to that later. Then season difficulty lowering. Yeah, okay, I did not agree with this statement at all. I don't think the seasonal content was necessarily too easy. But okay, they want to make this more difficult. Alright. Then point number 4. The zero system upgrades effects not applying to season. Yeah, exactly. The zero system chaos orb upgrades did not apply to the season. Now they do. That is completely irrelevant, because it makes the content more easy, while they said they want to make it more hard. And they balance this out by introducing us to 3 new difficulties. So in one way, you make it easier by letting us use the zero system upgrades, but you also make it harder because you introduce new difficulties. What is even the point of this? I can't tell you. It did not change anything. It is exactly the same as before. Nothing concerning the difficulty here changed at all. And then point number 5 and point number 6. Point number 5 is gameplay becoming too centered around season. Yeah, that was also a point that I did not agree with. The gameplay should be centered around the season chaos, not on anything else. You know, I explained it in my previous video, so let me cut it short here and just say that the whole point of you having a season is that your players focus onto the seasonal content and play it. Therefore, it has to be meaningful. It has to be, we have to establish ourselves something strong there. We have to good incentives to actually play the season. During a season, all the other content needs to be irrelevant. All that the players focus on is the season. That is the whole point of you introducing something like a season. If you introduce a season, but we will spend more time outside of the season, and the content outside of the season is better and more beneficial for us, yeah, then don't even hit us with a season. It's complete nonsense then. Alright. Chaos fatigue, yes, it is very fatiguing, it is very time consuming, and after like 2 or 3 runs I always take a deep breath and I'm really asking myself if I should go for one more run. And yeah, they are working on this. This will be fixed in a future update though. Okay, so what does this all boil down to? So here we are in game, in the seasonal content, and on this planet we were told we are able to farm chaos orbs. That was not true. Thanks to the patch notes, thanks to the patch, they changed this. And yes, chaos orbs are now obtainable in this mode. The problem is that these tiles here that tell you to defeat it to earn chaos orbs still do not drop chaos orbs, just like it was before the update. What the update did is that only the boss, this one right here, the final boss, this one is the one that actually gives you chaos orbs. On the other tiles, I've grinded this for over 4 hours today. I was aiming at these tiles, and in my over 4 hours grind, live on twitch.tv by the way, I did not get a singular chaos orb from these tiles. Just like it was before the patch. Before the patch, I was extremely confused by this. I was wondering about it, asking around, no one could help me. It was a complete illusion. And yeah, judging by my 4-hour grind, focusing on these tiles non-stop, they still don't drop chaos orbs. At least I, in my grind today, wasn't dropping any chaos orbs, not a single one from one of those tiles. Only the end boss dropped me chaos orbs. Why is that a problem? It still leads to the season being completely, utterly useless, because you can farm chaos orbs outside of the season much more efficiently, because outside of the season, these tiles here that indicate that they drop chaos orbs truly and really drop those chaos orbs, while in the season that is not the case. And so again, what is the point of us playing the season? Ask yourself that question, or answer me this question. Like, what is the point? Why do you play this season? The only answer that I can give you is to fulfill these challenge missions here and get some rewards in form of like this pull currency, or to get your hands onto the items that you need to buy yourself stuff from the shop. This shop is also not really filled with good stuff. It's pretty underwhelming, right? Honestly, if you would ask me, hey Straw, do I have to play this season? Let's say I do not play this season, would I miss out on anything? I would honestly tell you no, you don't miss out on anything. Just focus outside of the season, focus on the zero system and farm your chaos orbs there to max your buffs out, right? And that's really it. Like, what do you gain from playing the season? That's the big question. And the answer is really close to nothing. Yeah, okay, you get a little tiny little bit of pool currency, but it is not much at all. Look, no matter where you look, like where's the pool currency? Here in the shop, you get like what, 5? Yeah, 5 rescue anchors and 5 of these signal amplifications. 5, bro. I mean, it leaves me really speechless, and at this point I'm getting really frustrated and even a little bit pissed, if I'm being honest, because like I feel these developers, they try way too hard to be nice, transparent, and they really want to make us believe they are listening, but they are not actually listening. I thought when I was reading these patch notes, hey, they are on the right path, they have their priorities set straight, and it sounds like they actually know what they are doing. But from what they actually deliver, they have no fucking clue what a season should be. Like, not even in the slightest. This stuff here is completely useless. I know people that play this game, but they don't play the season. Because why would they? You know, there's no incentive, there's nothing there. But anyways, that is all what I want to tell you. Like, if you read what they promised and you now look at what they actually delivered, it is beyond pathetic and not a good sign moving forward with this game. But anyways, that's about it. I hope this video was fun and informative. If you like Chaos Zero Nightmare content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, don't forget to join the Discord server, link in the description down below. Take care of yourselves, have a great day, peace and love.